Wild Coast FM, your community connection.
It is right now time for Sandy Scissors. Hi, Aunt Sandy, how are you?
I'm very well. So nice to have you back in the studio again, my girl. Very nice. Glad to be here
I've really missed it.
Yes, it's lovely, and it's a lovely day today, isn't it?
Wonderful, wonderful.
Yes, such a super day.
And Sandy, what you've got cooking for us?
Well,
I've missed your cooking.
I have you. Good show. First, we're going to start with a chicken dish.
Mm-hmm.
I'm using some canned peaches.
Okay.
With this, and then I'm going to do a peach chutney as well that you can put with chicken or pork chops or anything like that. But let's get on to they call it a Moroccan chicken. And you know, sometimes you have chicken during the week and just want to jazz it up a little bit, make it just a little bit different, and just add a little bit of spice or something to your meal. And this is so easy to do. All you need to do is mix 2 teaspoons each of cayenne pepper and turmeric, and 1 teaspoon of ground coriander together. Then dust 1 packet, about 8 pieces of chicken, with spice mix and season it with salt. Now heat up 2 tablespoons of canola oil in a pan and fry the chicken pieces until they are well browned. Remove the chicken from the pan and brown 1 sliced red onion and 1 can of peach halves drained. That's the 410 gram tin. Okay. In the same pan. And then put your chicken, your onion and your peaches, plus a cup of chicken stock and a 1/4 cup of raisins in a roasting pan. And bake that for about 45 minutes at 180 until the chicken is cooked through. Serve that sprinkled with some chopped parsley, and you can serve it with rice or with couscous. And you know that makes such a bit of a difference to your chicken. It's not barbecued, but it's got the spice, that hint of spice.
And it also sounds succulent.
Which I think is a good idea and something nice. You know, we get into a rut and do the same old things with chicken. I think that's really something different.
Also, the peaches balance it out. Eh? It's
Yes.
got that extra hint of sweetness as well.
Yes, it does. You're right. And then a little bit of a peach relish or chutney that's quick and easy to make. You can serve this with pork chops. You can also serve it with some chicken as well. And I thought this was so easy to do, so I like these things that are easy to do. What we do is you saute 2 finely chopped onions and 1 diced red pepper in 1 tablespoon of oil. Then add a 1/4 cup each of sugar and white wine vinegar and a 5 centimeter knob of ginger grated. That's the fresh ginger. Now you cook to reduce it by half, and then add a 1/2 can of chopped tomatoes, a 1/2 can of peach slices. That's the 410 cans. I use half of that. You drain that and you dice those peaches, and you use 2 tablespoons of raisins and a 1/2 teaspoon of salt, and you simmer that for 10 to 15 minutes until it's sticky. Let that get cool, and you can use that with your pork chops. You can use it with your chicken. I think it's nice. You use it with the cold meats. You know, it just lifts some nice little bit of a relish.
Yeah.
And I think that makes such a difference, especially in the winter. We need that little bit of brightness just to jazz things up again. And then what I really enjoy, beans. And they're so good for us. I'm talking about not the green beans, your baked beans. But this recipe calls for the speckled beans, so you're actually going to cook these beans. You're not going to take it in a baked beans. And I think this is such a nice recipe. It's a tomato bean bake with a herb bruschetta. You can serve it with a herb bruschetta. And you know that you could add to your braai, or you could add it to whatever you're going to use. And for this you need a 1/2 packet of red speckled beans soaked, and a 1/2 packet of cannellini beans soaked. That's the little white beans. A tablespoon of canola oil, 1 onion finely chopped, 2 cloves of garlic minced, plus 1 whole peeled clove, and then 1 sachet of tomato paste, the 50 gram one, and 2 cans of chopped tomatoes, 410 grams each, 1 tablespoon of Worcester sauce, 2 teaspoons of sugar, some salt and pepper, and then afterwards you need a 1/2 loaf of rye bread, or you can take a French loaf sliced, and a handful of chopped parsley, plus extra for serving. Now what you need to do for this is place your soaked beans in a pot and cover with cold water. Bring to the boil and cook until they're tender, which is about 20 minutes, then drain them. Now heat your oil in a large pan and saute the onion. Add your minced garlic and fry, and then add your tomato paste and cook for 1 minute. Then stir in your tomatoes, your par-cooked beans, your Worcester sauce, your sugar and your seasoning. Simmer that for about 5 to 7 minutes so that the beans soak up all that flavor. Then toast bread slices on a griddle pan and rub it with the garlic clove and scatter with parsley. And you serve, you can stir in some extra parsley into your bean mixture and you just serve it with your toast.
Delicious.
And that's delicious.
And quick.
Quick and delicious and veggie. It's a kind of a veggie type thing, so
Definitely.
you could have it like that or add it, as I say, if you want to your braai or whatever.
Sounds delicious.
Good idea.
Sandy, you said that we're talking about fermented food. Tell me more
Yes,
about that.
it's very popular at the moment. It's the in thing, actually. And, they're a great source of probiotics, which is very good for your stomach and things like that. And they're making sauerkraut and pickled cucumbers and beetroot and kimchi. I've never made kimchi, but I know that it's very popular. And it's really very good. You don't actually cook the vegetable. What you do is you're taking the raw vegetable and you're pickling it. Okay. And it's really, very good. And I've got one here for pickled beetroot, and a lot of people are fond of beetroot. And I thought, let's talk about that one. So that's quite easy to do. This is easy. For this, you need 4 large peeled beetroot. You can grate it or you can dice it. I find it's nicer to do on the rough grate. It's quite thickly grated. 1 onion sliced, and then you need a sprinkling of coarse salt. And these spices, you can use any of the following according to your taste. 4 garlic cloves smashed, a fresh chili, seeded and finely chopped, a teaspoon of black peppercorns, 1 teaspoon of caraway seeds, a half a teaspoon of coriander seeds, mustard seeds or fennel seeds, cloves and cinnamon sticks and bay leaves and grated ginger. So you've got a hang of a selection there. You don't have to use all of them. Use what you like. And then your brine, of course, is coarse salt flakes and water. And now what you do is you mix that beetroot and onion with a sprinkling of salt and you put it in a sterilized glass jar. Important to use glass with your choice of spices. You need enough brine to cover the pickled ingredients. So the ratio for the brine solution is 1 tablespoon of salt to every cup of water. And you must stir that vigorously until the salt dissolves. Then pour over the beetroot mixture until it's completely submerged. And you ferment that at room temperature. So you don't put it in the fridge for 3 to 21 days. And you top it up with brine if necessary. When satisfied with the taste, then put it in the fridge to stop the fermentation process. And you can pickle almost any vegetable using this brine. Sometimes cucumbers are on special. I saw a little while back you could get those English cucumbers on special. Now if you take those and thinly slice them, put them in a brine and
Really?
pickles.
Cucumber?
Yes, it's delicious.
I never knew that.
Yeah, and so nice to have with cold meats or cheeses, things like that. So think along these lines, and it's all so good for you, this. And also you save on electricity, cooking, just
Definitely.
a little bit of
And
hard
it's
work.
always nice if you're not really in the mood, if you're having a brine, you don't really want to make a salad.
That's
Sometimes
right.
Mom also needs a day off.
That's right, and then
You
you've
just
got these
open
nice pickled things
just
that you
open
can
a
use
bottle or a jar.
and use that. So I think folks must try and think along those lines. And I think the beetroot is one of our popular salady things I know in South Africa, especially for braais and things like that. So let's try and do that. Let's try and do some pickled pickled beetroot this weekend. And
Definitely.
maybe try the cucumber as well. and of course cabbage also does very well like
Well,
that.
I know what I'm doing tonight.
But anyway, folks, I hope that everybody has a good week and the good weekend coming up. And Talita, I look forward to seeing you again next Tuesday.
Definitely.
And to
I'll be
chatting
right
to
here.
everybody on the air. And for now, everybody keep well and chat again next week.
Thank you so much, Sandy.